formula to it. A very simple formula.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is one unlike anything I've ever made. On Twitter and Reddit, I sent around this Google form and asked questions related to and pertaining to horror movies of all kinds. There were 10 questions in total, some were multiple choice, but many were fill in the blank answers, so I will have to do some assumptions with some misspellings and lump answers together that I think are the same movies, which there is The Thing and The Thing and The Thing, which I assume is talking about John Carpenter's remake, but I can't say for sure. I will be showing you the actual data, mixed with the graphs and some interesting comparisons about what people's favorite directors, movies, and subgenres were. You can kind of see some micro connections between the people who listed someone like John Carpenter as their favorite horror movie versus somebody who listed Ari Aster as their favorite. It's an interesting comparison to say the least. Well, before we jump into that, if you want to make sure to get your opinion in on the next video, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram @slashithorror to stay up to date on all of these things like this, and then give your opinion on the next video. Well, first we will start with favorite horror movies. 6 people said Halloween. Some said it without the date, so I first must assume that they're talking about 1978. Otherwise, it would be impossible to tell if they're talking about 2018 or 1978. Same thing with 4 answers of Scream, which again I must assume they are talking about 1996 and not 2022, but honestly I don't really have any clue which one they're talking about. Now I'm just going to rack off the rest of this list with 3 or less responses for each. The Shining has 2, The Thing has 3 votes, Train to Busan has 1, The Vivitch has 1, Aliens has 1, Psycho has 1, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 has 1, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 I think has 1, Halloween Kills has 1, Night of the Living Dead has 1, The Exorcist has 1, The Conjuring has 1, Fear Street 94 has 1, Hellraiser 1987 has 1, and finally American Werewolf in London has 1. I think it is really interesting the overall answers here because the slashers I got were all kind of bunched together. There were very rarely any like sleepaway camps or even any Friday the 13th sequels, which I thought was really interesting, especially when you consider just how popular the Friday the 13th franchise really is. We'll see as we go down the list, but Friday the 13th is one of the most popular but most middle-loved franchises of the horror genre. With that, we will move on to the next question. The favorite big 3 horror franchises. I'm sure the answers we got here are simply only due to the group of people we got, and I would be super interested to see just how similar this is with a bigger sample size. The sample size for this video is only 28 people, so it's more susceptible to similarities depending where they all came from. But I thought this was really interesting and we'll move forward. The least favorite on this list from the survey sample done was Nightmare on Elm Street with only 1 vote, which is absolutely baffling that only 1 person selected as their favorite. I thought that was literally crazy because just how popular the Nightmare on Elm Street the franchise really is. The second goes to Friday the 13th with 9 votes, which honestly makes sense to me because I think it's the most middle-liked horror, but I think I would have wanted to see Nightmare on Elm Street higher on that list. And well, last but definitely not least, Halloween with a total of 18 votes, doubling the second highest votes of all of these 3 big franchises. I like Halloween, but personally I think it's one of the least stable franchises in terms of quality, even compared to a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street, especially when you consider just how bad the sequels truly get in those sequels. This next question is, what was your favorite villain from a horror film? The top answer may or may not surprise you, but only 13 responses for Michael Myers as the top villain, compared to the 18 votes for Halloween as their favorite franchise, which I think is super interesting when you really think about it. I love Michael Myers, some of the Halloween movies just freaking suck. Second highest responses was Ghostface, has 3 responses, Jigsaw also has 3 responses, Jason Voorhees has 3 responses, as well as The Thing has 2 votes. Freddy Krueger also only has 1 vote, which honestly was the most surprising out of all of these. Freddy only has 1 vote, but Jigsaw has 3. The next question was, what was your favorite horror movie of 2021? This was a crazy, when I look back at the answers to this question, there were some crazy answers. The first 15 responses were Halloween Kills as their favorite horror movie of 2021, which for how many people I saw dislike that movie, honestly really threw me for a loop. And just how good that movie must have been for some people. Candyman got 2 responses. Personally, I freaking loved Candyman, on one of my favorite movies by far of that year. Fear Street got 2 votes, Malignant got a vote, Antlers got a vote, The Power got a vote, Last Night in Soho got 2 votes, and I think people got confused and said Scream 5 even though that was 2022, so that got 2 votes still. Really interesting to me too to think about, Spiral is not on this list. They did not get a response at all for anything on this list. However, 3 people said that Jigsaw was their favorite franchise or their favorite villain, and I think that is very, very interesting to see what they were actually talking about and what they considered to be a good Saw film. The answers to this are also really interesting. Favorite remake, requel, or legacy sequel? The top answer was, of course, Halloween 2018 with 9 votes, which honestly does not surprise me in the slightest. This isn't the top second, but I thought it was interesting that somebody also voted for Halloween 2007, which is kind of interesting. I never really considered ever voting for that movie. The Thing has 3 votes, which I think is the best remake of all time. Not necessarily my favorite, but definitely the best. The Fly has 1 vote. Scream 2022 has 3 votes. Suspiria 2018 has 1 vote. Evil Dead 2013 has 1 vote. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has 1. It 2017 has 1. I don't think that really counts as a remake or a requel or a legacy sequel, but it's whatever. The Hills Have Eyes has 1 vote. Friday the 13th 2009 has 1. Nightmare on Elm Street has 4. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 has 1. The next question, what is your least favorite horror movie? Which I have to be honest, these answers were absolutely crazy, and some not surprising. Us, Jordan Peele's movie, has 2 responses. Alien 3 had 1 response. Black Christmas 2019 had 1 response. Tragedy Girls, never heard of it, has 1 response. Candyman 3 has 1 response. Jason X has 1. Halloween Resurrection also has 1 response. Friday the 13th has 1 response. The original Nightmare on Elm Street has 1. Whoa. Jeepers Creepers has 1. Leatherface has 1. Cheerleader Massacre 2, which I've never heard of, has 1. Slenderman has 2. The Hollow has 1. It has 1. The Bye Bye Man has 1. Delirium has 1 vote. I Spit in Your Grave, Deja Vu has 1. Martyrs has 1. Freddy's Dead has 1. Resident Evil Films has 1. Creep has 1. Conjuring 2 and 3 have 1. Which I thought was, all of those were very, very interesting answers to this question, and I think it's really shows something really interesting how most people didn't really answer one movie. Most people answered a bunch of different films. The next question was, what was your favorite horror director? And these answers may not surprise you. John Carpenter has 13 responses, which is the highest on this list. Wes Craven has 4, which I think is good that he has the second highest. Mike Flanagan has 2 responses. Toby Hooper has 1. David Gordon Green has 1. Ari Aster, or Jordan Peele, or James Wan has 1. They wrote 3 answers in one question. Radio Silent or Ari Aster has 1, so Ari Aster has 2, and another vote for Ari Aster to make 3. And Guillermo del Toro has 1 response, which is a really cool response in my opinion. The next question was, if you had to write and direct a movie for one of the 3 big horror franchises, which would it be? And Halloween has the most responses with 14 responses. Friday the 13th has 9 responses, and this is the most interesting and the most compelling. Nightmare on Elm Street has 5 responses, and I think that is because that's the franchise and those are the movies. You can have the most creative control and kind of do whatever you want, more than you can a Halloween or a Friday the 13th movie where they're very formulaic. Michael Myers has to stab people, Jason has to kill people. But in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, you can kind of broaden your scope of what you can and can't do in a horror movie in your franchise that you picked. The next question It's a very, very interesting one. It's favorite subgenre of horror. The number one answer is slasher, which honestly nobody should be surprised, with a total of 19 responses, which is, that leaves only 9 responses left for the other. I think it was about 6 different subgenres that I answered. Paranormal has 3 responses, horror comedy has 3, Saw type quote unquote, YouTube friendly way of saying it, has 2 responses, and zombie has 1 response. This is the final response where they could type any response they wanted to, just about any horror opinion they wanted, and I will be just saying them here, and these are all completely anonymous, so I don't even know who had these responses. I left out some responses that were kind of more about the survey, or more about specifically what they wanted in the survey, but when I'm talking about those, we're talking about the ones that had specific horror commentaries, horror ideas in them. So here we are, these are not my words, these are the words of survey takers. Slashers are the inverse of superheroes. Purely negative beings of destruction, striking down the innocent and instilling fear. Wholly good beings of protection, raising up the weak and spreading hope. I try to really understand why people think Creep is amazing. I don't want to dislike it, I feel like I'm just missing something, but I can't figure out what it is. The remake of Nightmare on Elm Street was scarier than the original, and Trick or Treat is an underrated gem. I know that I'm in the minority, but I enjoy Halloween 1981 slightly more than the original. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Seed of Chucky are both masterpieces. Body horror is the most worthy of study. Leprechaun is severely underrated. Well, that makes it to the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching this video and taking the time out of your day to watch it. I do want to give just a little bit of talking about the future of this channel and what I will be doing here before we go ahead and wrap out the video. So I won't be doing as many bite-sized films. First off, I won't be doing as many of them. I want to kind of expand what I do, make it more about me and my relationship with horror movies and my relationship with horror and just horror in general and not specific horror. Like that, the way that I do those videos, I think I will be doing them still, but I think it'd be more entertaining to do them differently. So basically what I want to do is maybe have more film critiques and not film like the way I did it. More like film critiques, film reviews, maybe, if that's something you guys would be interested in. So please do let me know what you guys would be interested in me doing. Another interesting thing I might do is more like, just maybe more like if I can create a video game series, like a horror video game series, I could do that. I could stream on Twitch, horror video games on Twitch, maybe. That's a good idea, maybe, potentially. That seems like a cool idea. I could do that. Another interesting idea, potentially, is just reading more horror stories, like making a horror story playlist, like of videos or something. I had a podcast. You can go listen to the podcast where I did actually just listen to horror stories, but if you want to go listen to more horror stories and those kinds of things, go ahead and you can do that in my podcast that you can access pretty much anywhere you want to. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. I don't know when the next video will be because I'm kind of doing a little bit of a restructure on how I make videos for this channel. And I've been working on creating a different channel it's different. It's a little bit more of a company kind of channel than like a specific kind of passion project of mine. This is much more of a passion project, and I love making these types of videos. I love making videos for MediaByte, do not take this out of context, but it's a different opinion and different way of handling things, because it's not just me who works on the MediaByte channel, it's also my friends and my brothers. I have one brother that works on things. But yeah, so that is pretty much all I have to say for now. Please do go follow me on Twitter and give me some opinions on what kind of videos you would like to see on my channel, or you can leave them down in the comments below if this is something you are more interested in doing. So yeah, that does bring me to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. You can go follow me on Twitter @SlashHorror. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. You can go listen to my podcast. Definitely go listen to that. Pretty much anywhere you get podcasts, or you can listen to all the podcasts on the Media Byte Podcast Network by going to @MediaByteCo on Twitter and looking at all of the podcasts. Thank you for watching, and like always, remember, treat every day like it's Halloween.